Hello, hello. It is your Astro Coach Sarah here for your weekly update of all things, meaning astrology, tarot, oracle, crystals, oils, herbs, all of the things to help us get through this time that we're in. Times are crazy, right? All right, Uranus is direct. But that was what we can kind of attribute to the weather phenomena, but also, you got to consider the combination of not only weather phenomena and the planet doing planet things, but also is there manipulation going on with the weather? Hmm, things that make us go, right? But either way, we're affected by the weather, whether the weather is being manipulated or not. We're affected by it, we're bothered by it. So there's that. But just, so you're aware, like make sure you're looking around the world because there was a cliff that collapsed in Sicily that apparently destroyed property. I don't know any reports. I heard it from another astrologer that I follow. That's just, there are weather phenomena happening in other regions and other areas of the world besides just weird ice and snowstorms in the United States. But I will also say pray for farmers, pray for truckers, because when we have ice storms in places that there are not normally ice storms, we have things that happen with animals, including cattle, and cattle produces beef, and we need beef. Um, and truckers cannot get through roads to deliver your Amazon shit or your whatever you're doing. If you're doing Temu, Shein, and all that other happy bullshit, whatever, it's also not delivering to Walmart and other places as well. So keep that in mind when we're having weird weather, is to be patient with all of our luxuries that we have in this country. Um, okay, so Uranus is direct. That's a thing. Probably had a full moon hangover from that full moon last weekend, February 1st. So here we are, it's February 4th. We're going the 4th through the 10th here. If you want to join the Awakening Spirit Collective, the link is down below, but that is where I do bigger, bolder, longer duration. I wouldn't say longer videos, but they are like further out videos. So they get like a preview of things before y'all do, because this is YouTube and I don't get paid to do this. Um, or you can just pay me to read your chart. There's that. That link is below as well. Yeah, so you can do that. If you want me to just look at your chart and tell you what's going on with you personally, we got that to do too. So this week, Moon's going to move from Virgo through Libra, through Scorpio, and we'll end the week, meaning Tuesday the 10th, with the Moon in getting started in Sagittarius. And so that Scorpio Moon will be that third quarter square between the moon, the lunation cycle that occurs between the full moon and the new moon, which will be a solar eclipse on February 17th. We'll talk about that next week. But during this time, we will be getting closer and closer to Mercury entering his pre-retrograde shadow on the 11th. So that'll be next week. And then Saturn moving into Aries on February 13th. Once Saturn moves into Aries this time, he ain't coming back to Pisces. So we're pretty well, besides the personal planets making their way through Pisces during Pisces season. We are pretty well done with Pisces energy. But now we have Neptune in Aries. We're coming off of a full moon. Uranus is direct. We've got a lot going on in Aquarius. So let's talk about Aquarius. Does it help if I bring up a chart or not? That would be great if y'all could comment. I know I have a lot of blind viewers, so I don't think about putting the chart up, but if you are a sighted viewer and you love my content, drop me a comment and let me know that yes, you do need the chart pulled up so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, so let me pull up the chart just so you got an idea what's going on. But here's what I mean by a third quarter moon square. It's the moon at 20 degrees at Scorpio, which is a fixed sign, squaring the sun at 20 degrees of, this isn't exact, I didn't put it to the minute, but whatever. Um, It's at the same degree point nonetheless, 20 degrees of Aquarius. So this is a hell of a way to start a Monday because this first quarter square moon happens at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning Central Time on Monday, the 9th. So that could be interesting. Scorpio moons tend to bring either like people not sharing how they feel or people oversharing how they feel. Scorpio can be a bit private, so can Aquarius. But I do think though that there's going to be lots of chitter chatter conversations. Aquarius is an air sign, and that's where most of our personal energy is right now. Meaning that if you look in Aquarius, you have, well, Mercury's moved on to Pisces. But either way, you still have Venus, the Sun, and Mars, and Pluto, of course, hanging out in Aquarius. Mercury is at 4 degrees of Pisces. He's going to enter his pre-retrograde shadow in just a couple of days. So it'll be on next Wednesday. So we'll talk more about that next week. And if you look further down, Saturn is at 29, 30 of Pisces. So he's going to move into Aries here pretty soon. But what's important about all of this Aquarius energy and why I wanted to talk about it is that you've got like Aquarius gets such a crazy reputation for being weird, and that's not to say that Aquarius is not weird. However, come on, there we go. Sorry about that. Um, Aquarius is also humanitarian. And we also have that South Node in Virgo yet. And yes, we're going to have a solar eclipse coming up in Aquarius, but there's kind of this vibe of like, what are we doing for the collective? What are we doing for humanity? What are we doing to be of service? Some people are takers and feel like they have nothing to offer the rest of us, but we all need to be thinking about what we are, or we're too self-absorbed. Like there's kind of going to be this almost uh interesting dynamic between Neptune and Saturn coming into Aries, which is going to be really self-absorbed, yet Pluto in Aquarius, humanitarian, and Gemini, and Uranus coming into Gemini later this year or later this spring. That's bringing forth like this humanitarian-ish uh, communicating with others energy. And I think so many people either A, get self-absorbed and don't give a fuck what they're doing to help anybody else, right? Or there's people who don't think that they have anything to offer anybody else. Like, I need all of the services, but I don't. It's kind of like I need the village, but I don't want to be a villager, right? You need a village to support you, but you don't have things that you're doing to be a villager to support others. When I call bullshit on that because I feel like all of us has something that we can do to serve others, right? If we were all volunteering in a kitchen to prepare a meal for homeless folks, what would you be doing? Would you be serving? Would you be chopping vegetables? Would you be prepping the meat? Would you be, I don't know, baking the bread? Maybe you would just be kneading the dough for someone else to put it in the bread loaf pans and whatever. Maybe you're going to make the the pie filling, but somebody else is going to put the pie shell or the pie crust dough into the pan, but you've prepared the filling and all they have to do is dump that filling in and then put the pie in the oven kind of thing. So do you see what I'm saying? Like what task would you be doing? Maybe you're rolling the silverware in napkins. Maybe you're making sure that there's enough cups and straws and plates and utensils and things like that for all of the people that we're going to be serving. So I really invite you to think through tasks that you could be doing. I'm not saying go do those things. I mean, yes, definitely go do them if you have the capacity and the capability to get there and do those things. But I volunteered at food pantries before, and I promise you there is a role for every person, no matter how limited or not that they are. There were those who worked in the warehouse, in the storeroom at the food pantry where I worked, and they did all of the heavy lifting and moving things around and and sorting and organizing the inventory. Then there was me, my group of folks who we stood in our sections, letting people know what types of food we had available and, helping them read the labels if they needed to. And then there was the front desk worker who was able to use the computer, and there was two or three of those to interchange them and whatnot. But then there was people that couldn't stand, couldn't lift, couldn't do those things. They sat up front and they chit-chatted with people while they waited to go through the food pantry line. They visited with people. They prayed with people. They would maybe, have conversations about whatever kinds of things. So there is a role for everyone. Someone would also help people get a drink out of the drink cooler or get them a cup of coffee or, whatever. So my point here is that we really want to think about with all of this Aquarius is not only how are you needing a village, but how are you being a villager? How are you being of service to others around you? Are you offering to do anything? And yes, it could be just you're giving them gas money to take you where you need to go, or you're offering to, I don't know, pet sit for them, or, something like that, because they've helped you do XYZ amount of things. So anyway, it's just something to really think about with all of this Aquarius energy, especially as we head into, times ahead where things are going to be a bit more self-absorbed. People are going to have more boundaries, but that doesn't excuse you from being of service to the collective. Because yes, or to your community or to whatever, because yes, we have that Aries energy and we have the eclipse in Aquarius, but we're not done with Virgo. And Virgo is very much about servitude and being of service to others. Part of its archetype is, being the, there was another word that was coming into my head, but like being the person who harvests crops, things like that. So apple picking, whatnot that you would harvest during Virgo season, which is like August through September. So you could be harvesting anything from corn to maybe apples, maybe peaches, maybe pears, something like that. Usually soybean isn't until I think later. Soybean's usually not till October. But anyway, that's besides the point. My point here is that we're not done with the Virgo energy. Even when the nodes move out of Virgo, Pisces and into Leo Aquarius, we still have another Virgo eclipse in 2027. So we're not done. And with Pluto being in Aquarius, we're looking at and exposing and seeing the dark side of humanity. And that is that people have a lot to say about groups they're unwilling to volunteer to work with, groups that they're unwilling to get to know. They have a lot of opinions about that. And I feel like there's something about like all of us, zooming out and seeing a different perspective. So anyway, as of the end of this week, which would be the 10th, we'll be about 7 days away from that solar eclipse in Aquarius. It's going to be one to know the things that you need for your nervous system, to regulate yourself emotionally, physically, all of those things. It also ushers in the year of the fire horse. So we'll start to see a lot more spirited, creative, fast-moving energy with that eclipse and change in the Chinese zodiac year. You can look that up. You can look up the characteristics of the fire horse to get an idea of what you may need to do for yourself to prepare for the change in the Chinese zodiacal year. So that's that. Okay. Lock. Okay. Yes, I have to tell my iPad to lock because it doesn't know how to do it by itself anymore. Um, the button's broken. Okay. The supportive oils and things um, is, let me make sure I show you the right cards when I say the right words. Um, okay, we got black pepper. Ooh, hold on. Sorry. Let me, I need a new light. I need a new light. Black pepper. Black pepper is great. And also if you put it with, I do fresh ground black pepper, like peppercorns with a grinder. Um, so much better. So much better. But even if you're doing like turmeric to support lowering your inflammation, black pepper it does help absorb that. We got yarrow, which I've seen it as yarrow palm. Um, and so both of these are great for like supporting emotional healing, cleansing, all of those sorts of things. I've never noticed cracked, good Lord, fresh, cracked black pepper. I usually sneeze and I usually think it's like, oh, good. Okay. So let's see what's up with the tarot. Hmm. For this week. Things are going to continue to be crazy. This energy does not slow down for a very long time, like not until May. Okay. So if you are already losing your shit, then I highly recommend doing what you need to do for your nervous system. Get yourself offline, get yourself rested, get yourself some cleansing and clearing tools, sage, crystals, rose water, some chamomile, lavender tea, peppermint tea, um, those sorts of things so that you are regulating. But mostly, I would really recommend getting off the internet. I need to do that too. Just I need to stop. Get into some meditations. Abigail Rose Gazda here on YouTube has a whole channel of meditations available. I am not affiliated with her, but she's a friend, she's a colleague. Um, so there are plenty of opportunities to get the support that you need. And if you're not doing that, good luck, because I feel like one of the things that's really going to start to shift very quickly, particularly once Saturn moves into Aries, is we're going to see a lot of people not tolerating the victim bullshit again. If you can't regulate your emotions, if you can't regulate your nervous system, and if you can't take responsibility for that, because there's going to be days, right? When like there's going to be days when you're going to be like, I just can't today. My emotions can't, my mental state, I can't, right? I understand that. But if you're doing nothing to try to support it, like I get outside as many days as I can. These winter storms kicked my ass, but I still went outside. And yes, it was freaking cold. I didn't get much walking done outside. I did it mostly in the building, but I at least got outside. Um, I get outside every day. I do a lot of things with essential oils. I do a lot of things with tea, and stuff like that. I do stretching regularly. I get exercise regularly. If I don't do these things, it's not good. It's not good. Um, so it is really important that you learn what you need to take care of yourself and that you take responsibility for that. Um, All right, we get the King of Pentacles upright. Okay, well, coming off of that Leo full moon. I said I sneezed with black pepper, and apparently I manifested my own damn sneeze. Anyway, um, all right, King of Pentacles upright. King or Knight? Oh, Knight of Pentacles upright. Oh, okay. Um, I always think of this one as like you need to be your own knight in shining armor. Again, no one's coming to fucking save us, guys. If you are waiting for the midterms or the next elections or the next this or the next leadership, that ain't gonna happen. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, these people need us divided so that the attention gets away from them. Okay. And a lot of this crap is this is what I'm saying. Like, stop listening to the internet and the news and all of that. If you still watch regular TV news station, I don't even know what to say because it's so off base and irrelevant. These people need us divided. And if you're waiting for the next election, if you're waiting for the this or the that to happen, the boyfriend that's going to come in and swoop you off your feet, chances are if he comes in and swoops you off your feet, it's probably lying full of bullshit. And you're too rose-colored goggles on to see that. I'm not saying there isn't good men out there. I know that there are. But my guess is that if he's a good man and you're still single and you're, let's just say mid 40s, then he's gonna be smart. If he's a good, any kind of man, he's gonna be smart enough to know that he's gonna have to take his time and not swoop you and swoon you off your feet, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying there aren't good guys out there. I know that there are. The ones that I have met, though, are married or gay. Either way, they don't work for me. But I have met some very good gentlemen. But anyway, my point in all of this is with the Knight of Pentacles here. No one's coming to save you. If you are waiting for the organization to get their shit together, if you're waiting for the leadership to get their shit together, not going to happen. You're going to need to really find your own will to be your own leader. Because I'm telling you, if you're still sitting in your victim bullshit, people are going to burn out on the victim stuff pretty quick here, I feel like. And it's not because they're not compassionate, and it's not because they're not empathetic. It's because you don't take any responsibility of your own. So why should they continue to help you and be there for you if you're going to continue to do the same cycle, wash, rinse, repeat, bullshit cycle, bullshit cycle over and over and over? It's exhausting. And then you go do stupid shit that you know you probably shouldn't be doing, but then you call people and you giggle. Yes, I know somebody who does this, and it drives me insane. I'm like, it's not cute anymore. We're 40 something years old. We need to stop playing like we're 5-year olds because we're not. But we want to act like it. We want to justify it. Our childhood trauma. We were latchkey kids. We had this, we had that. Yeah, we also had some of like the best 80s movies, Rocky, Vision Quest, all of these things. The Karate Kid that should have taught us to fucking man up to the plate or woman up to the plate, whatever the fuck, right? I get it. We're all going through it, but we need to stop acting like we're not the leaders here because we are. All right. So Knight of Pentacles upright, and then we got the Ace of Cups. Hmm. I think that you will be surprised the new relationships that will enter your life when you step into your own leadership role for yourself or your own like participation as a villager and realize that you have something to offer and realize that like it's fucking great to be who you are, regardless of whatever current society. I think we did the tower last week. Was it last week or did I draw the tower? I don't know. But anyway, I've drawn the tower a couple times recently. And I think as the structure that we live in continues to collapse and we build something new. What if you're like the coolest kid in town because of the new structure, like actually serves and supports you, and you are too afraid to air who you really are for it to actually serve you and support you? So, but like you're like the coolest person because wow, like you're this and you're that. And we never knew that before. Wish we had, because we would have been able to work with that and help you do this, but you didn't let us know who you really are, your creativity or your spark or your like what makes you feel good and whatnot. So we couldn't like help you out. People can't love you if you don't teach them how to love you, right? You teach people how to treat you, but if you're hiding who you are, people don't know what to do. We got the dark magic, Magick. FOMO, fear of missing out. Clear your vibes. Yeah, you're missing out because your vibes are like cobwebbed, whatever, full of cobwebs. Nobody said I was good at grammar. Wait. Oh. All right, let's get one more for the road. So next week we'll have a lot going on. This week's got like not a lot going on, but I mean the potency is not going to like fizzle out anytime soon. So it's going to be one of those like there's, but yes, we have a Mercury retrograde coming up, so we're all going to get excited about a Mercury retrograde in Pisces because nobody's going to know how to think straight. We're all going to be fucking jacked on Benadryl and brain fog. That's what it's going to feel like. I hate Benadryl. It makes literally took Benadryl when I was working. Like I used to take allergy meds when I was working full time because that's what you were supposed to do was medicate yourself so you could go back to work. And when I tell you that like I took Benadryl one time, I couldn't remember how to do my job. I couldn't. It was better for me to be full on congested than to try to take allergy meds because they all messed with me so bad. Unseen. Um, it says trust your growing potential. Unseen. That seems a little counterintuitive to what I just said. Trust your growing potential. Huh. Oh, existential kink. You get off on being unseen because it gives you something to cry about. Oh, yes. You don't want people to know who you are. You don't want to show people who you are because you get off on hiding. You get off on not being seen. You get off. It freaking turns you on that nobody knows who you really are. That's so Scorpio Aquarius. It should make you go ask questions. Is she really here? Is she AI? I promise you, I ain't no fucking AI. I'm not even that good at using AI. I've used it, but I'm not that good at it. Anyway, no, but seriously, this is you get off on the things that you're victim to. Like it's the whole what ex the existential kink is about. It's a book. It's a great book. I read it over the summer. It's fantastic. I actually was laughing because saw myself in the damn book. We get off on being the victim. We get off on the shit that we're so scared to show other people. That's what gets us off. That's the turn on. It's like, well, if I don't show them who I really am, they'll never know. Oh, I got this little secret. Guess what? I do this XYZ thing and it's like so super fun, but like nobody fucking knows that I do it. And if they ever found out, oh, I'd be so embarrassed. You get off on that shit, babe. Then you're pissed because you got FOMO, because you won't tell people who you are. I love it. I love it. Y'all, if this is the 2026 version of me, I'm not even mad about it. I've never been this like spicy. I'm feeling into the Leo vibes is really what I've been doing. I've been feeling into the Leo vibes because like I follow Camway and the Leo King, and they're both like zero Leo astrologers. So they're like my complete fucking opposite because I'm a 29 Aquarius. And like these guys have full fire in their charts. I do not. I am air and water, a little bit of earth. Um, but anyway, so I feel like I've been feeling into my fire vibes. So y'all better look the fuck out when we got more fire energy in the chart. And then Jupiter's going to move into Leo over the summer. Wow, Pluto's squaring my ascendant. And yes, I know I need a new ring light. I don't like it. I also don't know what kind of ring light I want just yet, and I haven't really had a chance to get anywhere. I moved here and it got winter, okay? Can that be my excuse? Or am I being a victim? I don't know. But anyway, I will get a new ring light maybe in the next couple of months or something. We'll see. I'll have to price them out and see what's going on there. But anyway, links below for all of the things. The Awakening Spirit Collective, if you want to join me and several other practitioners over there, you do get a fuller forecast than what you get here. You can get a reading with me. No more 10% off. In fact, probably raising my rates very soon. So you might want to jump on that. Might have another February special posted before this video airs. We'll see. Love to see your questions, your comments. Let me know in the comments if you like the charts. Don't care about the charts. Obviously, if you're blind to get it, so you don't have to tell me that. But if you want to make a funny comment about the fact that you're blind and you can't see it anyway, at least then I know you're here. Okay, all right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Have a good week. Bye.